Blog Talk Radio. Hi everyone, this is Camille from sunny California, and you're listening to the Coffee Chat with Camille show, which is the podcast series that interviews various guests about real-life topics for people who love to learn. Hey, today's topic is people over peaks with world record holder Jenn Drummond. Jenn Drummond is a mom of 7, successful business owner, and world record holder. As the first woman to climb the second highest summits on each of the 7 continents, she now spends her time inspiring others to create a thriving business and lasting legacy of their own. She shares her story and strategies for success through her book, Breakproof: 7 Strategies to Build Resilience and Achieve Your Life Goals, and her Seek Your Summit podcast, programs, and signature talks. Learn more about how she elevates devoted and determined entrepreneurs to go beyond a life of success to a life of significance. You can find her her name again is Jenn Drummond. That is our wonderful guest. You go to jenndrummond.com, okay? And then also for you, the audience, she's left an Amazon link, and it's inside of our description of the show, and it's the link to pre-order the book. The book helps people own who they are and make the most of their lives, or of this life. Okay, so now we're going to welcome Jenn to the studio. Hi, Jenn, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, wonderful. So happy to finally have you here. This is wonderful. I want to go ahead and get into the interview. What are the 7-second summits?
Yes, so the 7-second summits are the second highest peak on each of the 7 continents. So for North America, it is Mount Logan. For South America, it is Ojos del Salado. For Africa, it is Mount Kenya. For Europe, it is Diktal, located in Russia. Australia has Mount Townsend. Antarctica has Mount Tyree. And then Asia has the famous K2.
Thank you. And then share one of the strategies from your book.
Yeah, I think I climbed Mount Everest as training ground for K2. And what I realized with these big mountains is that it takes big teams to make it to the top. I think a lot of us, when we're climbing our physical or metaphorical mountain, we take on too much ourselves. We don't realize that this big goal that we have takes a big team to make it happen. So if somebody is feeling overwhelmed or just exhausted, or maybe they want to dial their goal back a little bit, I encourage you to stop a second and say, hey, do I have enough people on my team to help me make it to the top without me running out of energy? And is there a way to add more people to my team? Because this big mountain takes a big team to summit.
Excellent. And then when did you become a mountaineer?
Yeah, so this is crazy. I had never really climbed a mountain or even slept in a tent prior to 2020. I was in a car accident in 2018 that should have taken my life and didn't. In 2019, I made a list of all the things I wanted to do and see and experience in the world, and climb a mountain was on that list. So in 2020, I was turning 40, and I thought I'd climb a mountain for my 40th birthday. And this pursuit got into my head, and I started climbing mountains in 2020.
That's amazing. And then what is it like setting a world record?
It's all the things, right? It's super exciting and empowering, and I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to have all the experiences that go with setting a record. but there's also a tinge of sadness that the record's done, and I don't have that pursuit in front of me anymore. So it's been the highs and the lows and all the in-betweens.
Thank you. And then what advice do you give others when balancing life?
You know, I think balance is this elusive topic that we're always striving for. I think it's a moving target because life comes at us at different seasons with different needs and things. For me, I am a mom and a business owner and an athlete, so I have to combine all those activities to make things happen. So a lot of times I would overlap things. When I was training to go climb and my child had a soccer game, I would be the mom at the soccer practice with a 12-inch step, and I would be doing step-ups with a backpack full of water bottles watching his game so that I could exercise and watch him. When I was on business meetings, sometimes I would have a note taker in the meeting so that when I could be on the treadmill and listening to what was going on, but I didn't have to document everything that was going on because I know I'd have notes from it when it was done.
That's great strategies. And then what mountain was your favorite?
That's like asking what kid's your favorite. They were all special, right? Each mountain kind of had its own unique little story and experience, and I had different teams on the different mountains. So you built relationships with different people, and they definitely made the journey that much more enjoyable. But I would say climbing Mount Tyree in Antarctica was pretty magical. Just getting to Antarctica is pretty magical because there's no runways or anything there. So when you take off from Punta Arenas, which is the southernmost tip of Chile, you go down to Antarctica, and it's about a 3.5-hour flight. And when you go to land, you cannot have any clouds in the sky. It has to be this perfect bluebird day because the pilot determines his speed and how close he's getting to the runway by his shadow. And they need the shadow to be able to see how they're landing on the ice down there, which is fascinating. And then when I was there, Mount Tyree had only been climbed by 15 people before us. So there really wasn't a lot of notes, and it hadn't been summited in a few years. So when we would come against obstacles on the mountain, we'd be like, okay, is this a new rock? Was this under snow before? Are we going the wrong way? Like, what's going on here? So it's very interesting when you're more of a pioneer on some of these mountains that do not have established routes. So that was pretty fun. I was the first American female to summit, the second female ever. I think that just goes to show that society is evolving and there's a lot more opportunities for us than there ever was.
Amazing. That's wonderful, wonderful. And then for your almost last question, how do you help people climb their own mountains?
Yes. So I have a book coming out in January named Break Proof, 7 Strategies to Build Resilience and Achieve Your Life Goals. That also has a course that complements the book. And then I also do private coaching with people, and we look at what their goals are, where they're at, what they're trying to achieve, and then build a customized plan to help them make it all come together.
Magnificent. And then what is your favorite coffee and or hot beverage?
I love a good chai latte. When someone does the homemade version of the chai lattes instead of the syrupy types that you can buy, I will go to any town and I start trying different chai lattes just to find my favorite.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with our audience. And then could you please let our audience and listeners know what your social media handles are and also how to contact you?
Yes, please. So you can find my website at jenndrummond.com. And if you go there, you'll have access to all my social media handles. I'm on LinkedIn for the business community as Jennifer Drummond. And then on Instagram, I'm the Jenn Drummond, and that's 2 N's in Jenn. But please reach out. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know how you found me, and I would love to connect.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Drummond, for being here. This has been an enlightening and magnificent way to start our podcast this week. And I want everyone to know that Jennifer is a motivational keynote speaker, world record holder, author, and podcast host. Okay, thank you again so much for being here. It's been an absolute privilege and honor to have you on.
Thank you for the opportunity. I hope you have a great week.
Same to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone, that was the magnificent Jenn or Jennifer Drummond. Okay, and please listen to this podcast and support her. Please you know what? Purchase her book, Breakproof: 7 Strategies to Build Resilience and Achieve Your Life Goals. And then looks like she has Seek Your Summit podcast, right? Programs and signature talks. I'm going to check it out, too. I haven't had a chance to do that because I have so many guests. And, oh, man, I have a lot of guests. But I always try to go and check in to see how my guests are doing. But she's an absolutely fascinating person. I'm so glad she's with us to inspire us and to just really brighten up our days and weeks. I mean, her story is quite powerful and continuing, right? It's a continuum of just an amazing achiever. And so, again, I want to thank you guys all for listening to CoffeeChatWithCamille.com. I do have another interview coming up, and I think at 10 o'clock, actually. And I want you to know that you can find a copy of this episode at CoffeeChatWithCamille.com and on any streaming platform. I think I've mentioned, but we're now on iHeartRadio as well. And but I haven't not seen this podcast, Coffee Chat with Camille, on any of this. Not seen it on any of the streaming platforms. So please take the time to listen to our shows. We have more wonderful guests like Jenn Drummond or Jennifer Drummond and so many more, okay? And if you just, driving on the road, going on a little road trip, say, hey, I kind of want to listen to a diverse panel or diverse guest list. This is the podcast where you can find that because I pretty much welcome everyone that has their story that they can tell to inspire you, the audience out there, okay? So, let's see. Like I said, I'll see you guys in a little bit, and hopefully my guests will show up. But if they don't, it's okay. Just reschedule till I get the guest on. I missed Jenn the first time, so I'm very thankful that she was kind enough to come back and grace us with her amazing story, and she's a world record holder. Wow, she's amazing. So I'm so glad with her very busy schedule that she stopped in to say hi and to talk to us. All right? So, again, thank you. Thank you, Jenn, for being here, and thank you, audience, for listening. Again, you can find this episode and many others at CoffeeChatWithCamille.com. Okay, and then sometimes the page isn't up. That just means bills need to be paid. But it's up right now, so no worries, all right? I'm trying to keep up on everything. All right, bye, guys. Have a great one.